Hey guys, good morning. I hope everybody is doing well. I am Psychic Bella Love for those who may be new here. And we're going to be going live later on this morning, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. So make sure that you check us out then. And YouTube's been on its little not notifying people and unsubscribing them sprees again, so make sure you are subscribed. And we do go live twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss out on any of that. So this is going to be a quick separate reading because, you know, Tasha K and Cardi B had a whole thing last night, and so people are saying, you know, they're both playing us, or Tasha's trying to manipulate Carlos, or Carlos is trying to manipulate Tasha into being her next pawn. So we're going to see what's going on with all of that. So trigger warning for those who are sensitive to these topics. Mental health is a big issue that, you know, sort of springboarded what happened. If that is something that is too sensitive for you, then go ahead and click off and you can join us back for another video. So let's see what Spirit and the cards have to say about this whole situation. And if you want to book your own personal and private reading with me, you can always go to psychicbellalove.com. All of my availability, the option to pay, everything is on the website. I do not take appointments outside of the website. I'm never gonna DM you on Instagram offering you a message from your ancestors or any of that kind of stuff. So let's see, Spirit, what is really going on with Tasha and Cardi B at this moment? Thank you. Because that just came out of left field, and like a lot of people were pointing out, you know, Tasha made this about, oh, I'm so worried about Carlos's mental and da-da-da-da-da, but Carlos said, you know, in the court records that she was feeling those same types of feelings of wanting to unalive herself when Tasha was going after her in the first place. And that was a big part of the whole, you know, trying to go after Tasha. And people are like, well, Tasha didn't give a shit then. Why does she suddenly care now? You know, which is kind of suspicious. So we will take a look. I'm not going to get too much into the Nikki side of things because the duds be watching and plotting. So we will cover that aspect of things on our Patreon Live this Saturday. There is a Barb's tier. It is $3 a month to join. You get access to any content that relates to Nikki or the duds, and twice monthly lives dedicated solely to those topics. And we will be going live again on Saturday. That is also the only place that I take requests. I do not take requests on YouTube, but you can join us on patreon.com/psychicbellalove. All that information will also be linked in the description box below. My patrons also get to help pick out the topics that we do cover on our weekly lives as well. And we also cover the Illuminati, any kind of like, you know, gossip stuff that is going on. I post about it in there immediately. We have fun, and we also do exclusive lives. Make sure when you join that you check out each individual tier and what it does include. So let's see. Okay. I had done a reading on this recently with Dario De Niro. I believe it was on his channel. And you can search Dario De Niro here on YouTube. That is my bestie. And he covers financial advice because he is a financial expert. So we had done a video about this, and I did the reading part, he did the, breaking down like the actual details and what they all meant. And what we got in that video was that, there was going to be, even though Tasha can't completely like discharge, her debts, especially given the type of bankruptcy that she filed, and then of course, the judgment, but that they were going to try to order them to come to some agreement on a much lesser settlement that would be, manageable for Tasha to pay back. So a lot of what's coming up here is about saving face before that happens. And on top of it, trying to change a public perception of Carlos in order to, kind of rehab the image, so to speak. Oh, I'm the generous queen now too. Even though you so wronged me to the point that I needed to go get a $4 million judgment against you, I'm gonna be the bigger person in all of this, and I'm going to, give you a break. But in order for that to happen, you need to go and do a bunch of shit for me first. So this was, what do we say, the plotation of it all. This was not some organic, oh my God, Tasha had a come to Jesus moment and was just like, poor Carlos and her mental health, and I just can't live with myself any longer. I need to extend kindness. This was really, I got a hell of a lot of debt to pay off. I, want to get this settled. I want to get everything taken care of. Carlos isn't going to get all of the money that she thinks that she is either. So it's better for the both of us to come to some sort of agreement. And I'll throw her a bone, in order for her to throw me a bone. Because we've got here about this judgment, but not getting the full amount that was promised. This is the judgment card, 10 of coins in reverse. Then we have the world card here talking about changing public perception with the magician. This being about, it's a PR move. It's trying to change the narrative, change the energy, change how people are being seen, because somebody needs to be, they need the good PR. They need the public to be like, oh my God, wow, look at that, oh my God. And now they've made up and they're cool with each other. Because that's what they're going to go about trying to play. Like, we're cool with each other now. Carlos is showing up, though, as the Queen of Wands, which can represent a very manipulative woman. Somebody that is plotting, planning, trying to spin things in their favor. So it is this facade of, look what a happy family, look at what a happy situation this is. I'm a nice person. We're going to get along now. And with this Lover's card and the Eight of Wands and the Ace of Coins, it is talking about, not lovers in the romantic sense, but partnering up in a work-related type of a situation in order for both people to benefit financially. For Tasha, that's erasing most of, if not all of the debts that she owes to Carlos. For Carlos, obviously, now I have Tasha in my pocket. She can't drag me any longer. So, Tasha, I'm so disappointed in you. I mean, the judge was going to make her have to settle with you at a lesser amount anyways. Like, this isn't going to really work out amazingly for Tasha. I'm going to tell you guys that. She's going to need to be walking very carefully, because I see a lot of people moving away from her because of this situation. Like losing fans, losing support, people being really disappointed in her. And Spirit is saying that whole situation of doing the interview with Joe Budden and then him not wanting to promote it or release it because, you know, Cardi was getting upset, pushed Tasha into thinking, am I stopping my own bags by still having this issue with Cardi? But the thing is that people are becoming so wise to Cardi's ways and the shit that she does that it's like, that really wasn't gonna like harm you in the long run. You know, there's plenty of other platforms that you could have done this like interviews on and whatnot. Like Joe Budden is not gonna make or break your career, Tasha. And Spirit saying it's not like, oh, like, you know, all these other people were telling her no too. It was just one situation, but it got her scared enough and worried enough, and she feels like she has to look out, you know, for her family, her business, you know, all of her employees. And so she made a choice, but we got the full card of her standing as the fool because of it. So let's see, is Tasha gonna start taking up for Cardi and bashing people that Cardi does not get along with? You know, because it goes beyond just Nicki. Obviously, we saw Cardi pick fights with every single person on the Queen's Mix. And she's always looking to beef with somebody. So let's see. That's what Carlos wants. Spirit saying that there's other people that have been in Carlos's pocket that are now no longer wanting to, and some of her other relationships with other bloggers are a bit shaky. Like, you know, they get mad at me and then they start telling stuff and then we fall out and I can't really count on or trust them in the long run. But also at the same time, if I am going to come out and try to compete with Nicki, try to release this next album, I need to make sure that I do have as many people as I can in my pocket and on my side, because we all know Carlos cannot stand any sort of criticism. She doesn't like people, you know, not kissing her butt. And this is the thing that Spirit's saying. She's going to make herself go broke just by this type of stuff alone. You know, constantly paying people, giving them things, trying to bribe and manipulate everybody so that they can kiss her butt and be on her side. And it's like, you might be making money from like your whip shots or whatever else that you claim that you are, but there's way more money that goes out than comes into her household. And she's let her ego get so caught up in things that it's like very reminiscent of like Kim Zolciak. You know, you're getting the water shut off at your house, your lights aren't on, Croy's having to call the utility company and beg them to put them on a payment plan in the budget light bill because you guys got small kids in the house that need to be able to shower and not sleep in the dark, but yet you're going and getting plastic surgery. You're, you know, still trying to live this high life and not look at the reality of your situation because it's the ego of, I have to keep up the image that I created for myself, not realizing that everybody sees through that and we see what's really going on, and just accept that you're in a moment where you need to just let those things go and concentrate on fixing your financial situation or working on the music so that way when it comes out, like, people won't be all, what the hell is this, like they were about the snippets that she shared recently. So I do get her wanting to, you know, or expecting, okay, we dropped this debt, you don't owe me $4 million anymore. Now you need to have my back and go against people that I don't like. You need to only say nice things about me. And if you don't, we're going to have some more problems. And don't be, I mean, obviously, if there is any kind of settlement agreement that happens, like, it'll all be NDAs and confidential and whatnot. So, like, we're not as public going to see all of that. It'll just say, like, oh, Carlos forgave it, or they settled on a much more affordable amount, and her and Tasha are okay now, and they decided to put the past behind them, and, you know, we're okay, it's fine. But really, it's because she wants Tasha to give her information on people. That's why Tasha was mentioning Nikki wanting her to sign a lifetime NDA. Which, let me tell you guys something, because I don't like publicly talk about all this too much. I read for people that are in the industry. I have celebrity clients. Some of them I have literally sat up here and did readings on and dragged because they're like, do it, because then people won't know that, like, I read with you. But trust and believe, every single high profile person or somebody that has, you know, businesses or some sort of fame, it's a very, very, like, common thing that they're going to make you sign an NDA or a confidentiality agreement because they don't want you, like, sharing all their personal information with people, even if it is just, you know, because, I mean, think about it. How many stalkers have we seen, like, people in the industry have? They don't want you to leak their addresses, their phone numbers, you know, proprietary information as it may relate to, like, business dealings or things that they have coming out. If I was going to hire people to work for me, fucking trust and believe that you would be signing an NDA too, that you're not allowed to share, like, what I'm doing as a business person behind the scenes, because if I didn't, then you might go work for Tarot by Sandy and tell her, oh, this is what Bella's doing. And I don't know if there is a Tarot by Sandy. Don't drag me in any drama. I was just making up a name. But you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a very common thing. It's not a big deal for people to want that, especially celebrities. So people were making a big old deal about that. The reason why Tasha was mentioning it is because, and kind of shading Nikki, is because, you know, that was part of the plan with Carlos. Carlos desperately wants Nikki to either acknowledge her in a negative way so that she can write, you know, or release some sort of diss track against her and get all kinds of, whoo, look at everybody's all excited to go see Carlos, like, drag somebody, or make up with her, do a collab with her, because then it'll get people off her back, and then of course it will also blow up whatever that she wants to release. So you can always see that Carlos always has to make sure that she is connected in some way, shape, or form with Nikki, good or bad, because that's what's always going to get her trending. Which is sad, because if you are a Grammy Award winner and Miss My Songs live in the top 10 and I'm rich and I'm the best and blah, 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 why do you need your name tied to another artist constantly? Shouldn't you be able to stand on your own 2 feet because you established yourself enough? So we're definitely getting manipulation, lies, fighting, shenanigans. This is going to backfire on the both of them so badly. Because if Tasha gets up there and starts dragging Nikki, do you know how much people are going to just be like, Okay, Tasha, you know, we were rocking with you and supporting you through everything else, but here you go. And even people that don't like Nikki are still gonna feel like you're being very disingenuous, and we can tell why this is happening. So they need to be real careful about how they're going to go about this, because it really does look like it could be an ultimate recipe for disaster. The way that Spirit's saying, a short-lived battle and losing the long-term war. So real quick, let's just see what is going on between Cardi B and Jason Lee, because we all know that that is her biggest puppet as far as, you know, the gossip bloggers go. And listen, I'm not saying that Carlos does or doesn't have mental health issues. You know, you can have nothing wrong with you and still deal with anxiety. But she has weaponized it so much that it's really hard for people to feel empathy and sympathy for her or believe her because of it. It's literally the boy that cried wolf. And you know, I saw people trying to say, like, oh, well, if Nikki forgave her, worked with her, Lotto, like, everybody would, you know, go run to, like, support them again and kiss their butts. To me, no. I don't think Lotto is a very likable person anyways. Like, I've never really gotten into her or felt like, oh, like, you know, even if I don't like her music, like, at least she still seems like a cool person, which I do feel that way about a lot of artists. But you know, I'm not going to suddenly be like, oh my God, Lotta's the best because Nikki worked with her. Like, there's a lot of people Nikki worked with, and I'm like, whatever, you know. But when it comes to Carlos, she's done so many things that she's never taken accountability for or apologized for that are absolutely horrible and, to me, unforgivable. Gay slurs, attacking Black women constantly, acting like being Mexican is some kind of insult worthy of self-harm, you know, telling people that they need to go unalive themselves, dragging people's dead relatives, and then, you know, when she gets called to the carpet for it, she's always crying and, oh my God, my mental health. I love and adore and have plenty of Black Mexican gay friends. And I'm not trying to be the white girl that's like, I'm not racist because I have Black friends. No, I'm saying the people that I freaking love, I've seen be personally hurt by the things that she has done and said. I have lost people that I loved dearly that were extremely close to me because they lost their battles with their mental health. So I don't think it's cute and funny or easily forgivable for somebody to sit there and do that kind of stuff. And it's really hard for me to believe that she's serious when she, you know, brings that stuff up and starts throwing it around. So I could give a shit who works with her. I'm never going to support her. Same thing with Megan. You lied and put an innocent Black man in jail, and then you're trying to weaponize mental health. No, that's your guilt eating you up because you did something wrong. That's not just, oh my God, people hated on me and bullied me and destroyed my mental health. No, people are exactly justified in saying the evidence does not match what you claim happens and question it and say that they don't fuck with horses since Christopher Reeve because of that shit. And again, outside of what you did to Tori, you've done a lot of crappy shit to other people too, and you haven't been the best person. So you could put out the best song in the entire world. I'm not going to listen to it. I'm not going to support it. I do not support people that don't align with my morals and my values. I don't line their pockets. And that's what people need to realize too. Everybody in Hollywood is obsessed with money. They're doing it for money. They're not doing it because they really love the craft. You know, there's a few, but for most of them, it's a money grab. So why am I going to put money in your pocket if you're a bad person? That's my way of showing you I don't freaking, you know, agree with it, is by refusing to let you profit. So, okay. We know that Jason slipped up and said on the Breakfast Club that Atlantic and Julie Greenwald pay the least, or some people were saying that he said pay the least. Either way, he admitted that he gets paid. So it doesn't matter which, you know, version of the word that people think that they heard. He still admitted that he was getting payola. And so don't let that go over your heads, being, you know, playing semantics about what word he actually said. And Jason, this is the thing with Cardi and Jason. They are the same exact people when it comes down to it. Except Jason is a little bit smarter and a little bit more manipulative than Cardi, and he's been doing this a hell of a lot longer than she has. And he may have been saying that they were paying the least, because I do see here that, you know, he wants more money out of this situation, and this is something that they have gotten into it over, because it was, well, you promised me that a check was coming, and then on top of it, him wanting to say certain things at certain times, because it's like everybody's getting on me about the payola stuff again, so I need to start kind of like making little jabs here and there to throw people off and be like, oh no, look, I'm not just playing Carlos's puppet. And she gets really, really, really pissed off when he does things like that. So, you know, people saying that her relationship with Jason is on shaky ground is very, very true. He knows a lot of stuff that he could say that would destroy her. And I feel like she walks on eggshells with him because of that. But this is the thing, Jason's getting fed up with this like arrangement that they have, and he doesn't feel like it's benefiting him as much anymore. You know, the same way that Tasha earlier was worried about was that Joe Budden refusing to air the interview sort of, you know, me getting blackballed or whatnot. I feel like Jason has had a lot of doors closed in his face because of his association with Carlos and his, you know, taking up for her so much that he really is kind of pissy, because it's like, now my bags are getting stopped and I'm not getting paid what I was, you know, promised or used to get. So don't be surprised if they don't have some kind of like minor falling out. He insinuates a few things. She comes running back, trying to make it right again, gives him a little bit of money. And then there is, you know, on the horizon, of course, things can always change. Carlos could watch this and be like, I need to keep it cute with Jason. But there is some huge storm brewing on the horizon between the two of them. And it really is only going to take that one wrong thing to set everything off and blow it all up into smithereens. And then he's outing her and she's fighting with him, and it'll be a mess. So anyways, guys, I am going to go ahead and end that here. If you want to join us on Patreon, we will get further into this on our live on Saturday. You can join at the lowest tier, which is the Barb's tier, if that's all the content that you want, for $3 a month. or you can join one of the other tiers in order to access the rest of the content and put in requests for celebrity readings. Go to patreon.com/psychicbellalove. Again, that will be linked in the description box along with all of the rest of my information. And you can always book your own personal private reading with me, psychicbellalove.com. I hope everybody has a good one. Make sure you like the video and you are subscribed. And I will see you guys very soon for our live.